Welcome to the Sana Project, where we take you well beyond our everyday skin clinic practices and give you insights to our philosophy. This collaborative podcast is hosted by our team and guest experts in various fields. So let us take you to Skinfinity and beyond, where we will be covering topics on skin, internal health, mind, soul, energy, life, and integrated practices. Our hope is to spark thoughts that resonate and serve you to make conscious choices to live your best life. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it.
Hi and welcome back for another episode of the Sana Project. My name's Christine and today I've got a special guest with us, the lovely Chantelle Stanton. She is one of our beautiful clients, has been coming here for around 6 months, I reckon. And this one's going to be a really interesting one because we're going to talk all about a very specific industry and the effect on the skin, the confidence and everything around it. So Chantelle is a professional model. She is a influencer and an all-around, I would call you a style muse.
Not right now.
Always looking up to, what you do, because honestly you could wear a bed sheet and you would just make it look so stylish. So to ease into it, how did you get started in the industry and how old were you?
So I began modelling when I was 15. I actually was entered into a modelling competition by my auntie who was doing some photography at the time. And I was actually underage to even enter this competition. So we kind of dodged it there. But I actually ended up winning the competition and I won the contract with my agency, Chadwick Models.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had like a bit of an interest in, the modelling industry and I don't know, like as a girl growing up, you're always like pretending you're on a catwalk and playing dress-ups and things like that. But never to the point where I thought it would be like a career opportunity. So when I was 15 and won the contract, I then started doing jobs for clients while I was still in school. And it kind of just got really busy. Mum was driving me from school, picking me up, taking me like to jobs all over the city. And then it kind of just got busier and busier and I continued doing it throughout school until I was in year 12. And I was doing mainly modelling and half school, completed year 12 and then just been full-time ever since. So yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So when your auntie sort of presented that idea to you, what did you think at first?
Oh, I just thought like, oh yeah, like why not, It was hundreds of girls that were in it and then it got shortlisted and I had to go to Sydney and do this big like presentation and then I won and I just wasn't expecting it. Like it was just a bit of fun really.
Yeah.
But great opportunity and yeah.
That's so cool. So did that's just maybe a totally stupid question, but like along the line, did anyone actually, was there some sort of like course or something that you did like how to, because like I'm just thinking back on our branding shoots that we did and it was so awkward because we totally didn't know how to move.
It is very awkward at the start. I totally get that. Actually before, like during one of the school holidays, I think I was about 12 or 13 and a friend of mine, we did a it wasn't necessarily a modelling course, but it was like you learn to kind of do your hair and makeup and you get some photos done and things like that just for a bit of fun in the school holidays. So I mean, I had done that just for some fun.
Yeah.
But you learn so quickly on the job and it's just like they teach you, especially being so young, they teach you so much so quickly. It's definitely an industry where you grow up very quickly and you're around, older people that are more mature and, you definitely mature very quickly.
I can imagine.
Yes.
That's very, very interesting. I think because looking back, when I was sort of at uni, I did a lot of I wouldn't say modeling. It was more so the event side of things. But with that, I got in touch with, obviously there were a lot of models around.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how nowadays social media seems to be the platform to really grow.
Social media has, it used to be you would say you're a model and you would go to a photo shoot or a catwalk and you would be a model. Whereas now it's social media has taken off from that so much, and it's you can be a model, so influencer, it's now kind of all under a bit more of a one bubble.
Yes.
But definitely I think modeling helped my social media presence definitely evolve from that. Yeah.
And your face seems to be everywhere. We were looking the other day, I think, because we've got these awards night coming up, and Carla was looking online for some dresses to shop. She goes, oh my God, there she is.
You kind of forget what you do and it ends up a bit everywhere. But no, it's good. You have your regular clients that you work with a lot, and then it's always new ones here and there. So
that's incredible. So let's take a little bit of a different angle here. So obviously you're one of our skin clients.
Yes.
And you obviously also get your makeup done professionally a lot. Run us through a little bit of how your skin adapts with all the, I think, things that get thrown at it.
Yeah. So it took, my skin's always quite, been quite sensitive. And I think from starting modelling at such a young age, I've always had heavy makeup, not really sure how to take care of my skin properly from a younger age, would use all different products that who knows if they were good or bad for my skin, but also going through puberty and so many hormones, around that 15 to 18 year mark. But it definitely takes a bit to adjust to. You just got to find something that works for you, which is now why I'm obviously with you guys, because I love Dermavigils and the products that you use. So Dermavigils was actually a client of mine through social media, which is how I found them. And at first I was another skin client that's trying to get me to use their products. But my agent was no, I've heard really good things. You should definitely, do this job and try it out.
Yeah.
And straight away I hadn't used any products like that. My skin was just loving it, not irritated or, not causing any breakouts or anything straight away. And I loved the concept behind Dermavigils and, how it all comes together. And then from that, I was, looking to continue to use the products, which I think for me is such a big, step with skincare. It's if I know it's, working, then I want to keep using that rather than just jumping onto the next brand and finding, something again that's going to irritate or damage my skin. And then I was able to find that you guys have the product here, and then it's kind of just evolved from that, which is amazing.
Yeah. Well, when you first came to us, one of the things that I thought was really impressive as well, that not a lot of people actually have done their groundwork on what else it's connected to. So you were already seeing a naturopath, which is really great.
Yes.
So you know the importance of how that's all linked together, and I think that just made it a really, really easy transition to take you on as a client, because you obviously understand the background of that.
Which I think that's also so important. You barely hear of skin clinics having naturopaths available because that can be, just as big of the issue as your skin can be. It comes from that deeper internal, if there's issues or underlying things there. So
it doesn't even always need to be a major issue internally. It could be your changing stress levels, things. All sorts of things. So, and that
everything's so
shows.
connected, which so it's awesome that you guys offer that.
Yes. All right. Now, random question. Would you generally describe yourself more of an introvert or extrovert?
I would definitely say introvert. I'm not really the kind of person that's going to be look at me kind of really, I don't know. But I feel I'm quite a private person. I like to keep things to myself or things like that, which is also, being on a social platform where it's people may know me or things like that, I'm very selective of what I share. And it's just having that, I guess, private side that I don't have to share everything, even though people like to think that they want every little detail. But no, I think it's just being selective with that. And but I don't know, around close friends and definitely around like family, I can be, you know, a crazy bubbly side. But I think if I first meet someone, I'm a bit of an introvert for sure. Yeah.
Well, I think that was one of the things that we really loved when you first came in, is because, you know, you kind of, and this sounds so bad, but you kind of have a bit of an image of like, you know, there's someone with this massive social media following, what is she going to be like as a person? But you're just like, you know, you're gorgeous inside out. You've got such a sweet soul and are just so down to earth, which kind of how do you generally feel about working in an industry that's obviously so heavily image based? What you portray, obviously you've got to find balance there between your private and what you share. Has that ever been a challenge?
Like at work or like on a shoot or on a job, you are surrounded by other models as well, or you know, you're compared to other models or girls on the job, which obviously I think when I was younger I used to really like take it to heart or compare myself a lot to other people. But you kind of just learn that like you're there for a reason as well. Like they want you there, you're good enough as anyone else. But you just got to own who you are, I think, and not compare yourself to others, because everyone is like so different in their own ways and like offers different things.
So being a self-proclaimed introvert, do you reckon your career has made you grow in your confidence, or has it at times really been like, oh my God, like, you know, maybe I need to be more outgoing for this type of role?
Definitely. I think I have grown a lot being in this industry with my confidence. Like I said, when I was younger, I would have been a lot more like shy, or I don't know, a bit scared. But I don't know. I feel like with social media you're really able to show like that side of who you are. It's a more personal side. Whereas it's not just, you know, it can be videos and it can be like how you portray yourself. Other people can see like that side of it, whereas like modeling is just a photo. It's not necessarily showing who you are as a person.
That's such a good point.
So I think social media has been great for that. Like I love feeling like I know, you know, little details about different people on social media, because it's like that's their personalities or their different quirks and stuff like that.
And I love when people are actually authentic around that.
Same. Me too. It's so much more genuine. Like, and you can tell like if someone's being really genuine in who they are or what they're sharing.
Most of the time anyway.
Well, compared to, just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's come a long way where people can see behind the mask of someone and sort of really get a good idea of who they are. Which kind of brings me to my next question. When you do go to a shoot and you obviously get your photos taken, in terms of editing, how do you feel about like when they make you like a complete flawless complexion, not one line, not one pore, not one anything on your face? How do you feel about that?
Obviously I think it's like unrealistic, especially if I'm having, you know, not a great skin day, or like, you know, I'm not ever going to rock up to a shoot feeling my best self every single day. I think the industry has come a long way. I feel like it used to be so edited, filtered, even like body shape, everything was so specific. You know, like there's old like stories when I was living overseas that like the agents used to tell you to start smoking just so you could be skinnier, or like drink this certain skinny tea, or like just crazy things like that I personally would never kind of get into, or like let yourself like get that far into it. But definitely with the editing side, I think the industry's come such a long way. Like I used to see, girls that I knew had different like freckles on their face that would be completely stripped, and I'm like, that's not even that same girl. Like, why would you get her if you are going to edit half her face out? And sure, I've had editing all of my face, or like my body shape's been changed, things like that. But I definitely think that the industry is a lot more realistic, and now with social media, brands are getting caught out if they are like editing something, because then people are like, well, that doesn't look like them, or it's like looking unrealistic. But I think also people are appreciating more unedited, unfiltered like campaign photos. And
I feel like people in general, because not everybody is a model.
I
feel like it makes people a little bit more, like you can relate to it a little bit more.
It's more relatable, And
I think the marketing world is catching up on that.
It is, definitely, 100%. But I used to find it like, oh, did I not look good enough, or like, did I not, my skin was so bad, oh, they must like notice that I've got a few pimples, or like, if I've got some lines on my face, or
it's crazy how we even got here in the first place. But
it's definitely come a long way, I think.
So do you get to see the images that they're using beforehand, and do you have any impact on the decision making behind it?
If I'm like on a job and I'm, like they'll have like a screen up and there'll be like photos coming through, and sometimes I'll go have a look at the photos. I don't really ever get like a save what they do with them. No, not with that. But I don't know. More recently, I think it's definitely been what you see is what you get. Yeah. Whereas I think a couple of years ago it used to be a lot worse. So, starting to come around.
There's hope then.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I guess that kind of really brings us to, we already spoke about social media as a general, but I just find it really crazy to think all this filter madness that's out there at the moment, and ties back in with your editing and stuff. But like for me, like I've got 2 young girls that are sort of just coming into those teenage years or early teenage years. And I'm like, I mean, there's also a lot more education around it, and they know what's real, what's not. But having put that image of perfection in front of you all the time, I want to know what that actually does to their confidence, because, like...
Oh, you start to think that you have to be using that to feel accepted. And
it started off really cute and fun, like with your Snapchat filters where you had these butterflies on your face and whatever. But I was even then thinking like, okay, but now they're looking at this thinking, oh, they look pretty in that image, and then
it's not even
compared to what they see in the mirror. Where do you think this whole filter craze is going?
Definitely agree. I reckon like when I started social media, I was a lot younger, and, you kind of like catch on to what everyone else is doing and thinking like that's the norm and accepted. You would put like filters, even like editing photos in like different like colours to make things look, a bit unrealistic, or just like, I don't know, things would look better. But again, I think that is something that slowly is starting to trickle through, and like even like a lot of girls I now like have been following on social media, they used to edit their photos so much, or like use filters, and it's now a thing of like just not using filters, not using like really extreme face softeners and things like that.
So good, those filters.
I know, it's
Have
scary.
you seen the one that makes you old?
Oh,
we were playing around with that the other day.
I don't know if I want to try that one.
It was actually so scary. But I think like for entertainment purposes, that's fine.
I think there's still some for entertainment purposes, but there's some that people, I feel like, literally can't put a story without using like a softener filter or something. And it's like, it just goes down to like such insecurity and such like internal self-esteem that, it doesn't help with things like that. And girls growing up just thinking, oh, that's normal, or like I have to use these to feel accepted. But slowly but surely, I'm hoping that it's more and more it is definitely becoming better to not be using them.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
All right. Now, I guess one of those questions, and you don't have to, I don't want you to name anyone, but being an influencer, I can imagine our inbox, sometimes I don't even look at it. So I can only imagine what your Instagram inbox will look like. Have you got any funny story of or any gone wrong story of a collaboration offer where you go, oh my God?
There's always some random ones that come through. A lot of things are kind of like the same things, like they want to gift you things to try, or they'll expect you to be posting stories of their products. But I used to think it was so cool to say yes to everything and get all these deliveries, and it's still fun and exciting. But I think you start to really narrow down to products and clients that feel really authentic to your style, your personality, what you want to be sharing on social media. I used to be happy to share nearly anything and everything. And it's just because it felt cool to be getting free stuff or, but now I'm a lot more selective with brands and products and stuff like that. And I do a lot more, it used to be a lot more unpaid work, whereas now a lot of my work is genuinely paid clients. Yeah. So, if I'm saying yes to something like that, I genuinely really want to be sharing this product or
so it
working
aligns
with
you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, a lot of brands I'll slightly just send through to my agency, and I'm like, can you please decline this one for me? And there has been a few funny ones, but I think it's just finding brands that you really want to share and that feel really authentic to you. Yeah.
Oh, that must actually be quite cool, honestly.
My sister loves all the little extra bits and pieces.
I bet she does.
There you go. You can have those. It's goodie bags every time. But no.
That's so cool. So you're definitely one busy young lady. But with all of that, obviously, there's girls out there, they look at you as oh my God, she's, someone to really look up to, she's done it, she's reached it. Yeah. How do you yourself balance your life? You already said you kind of draw a line on social media, what to share and what not to share. Yeah. But how do you not, how are you not an arrogant, how do you stay grounded and how do you find time for your self-care?
Yeah. I think a lot of that is also my upbringing. I come from a really loving family. They keep me sane. But they also, and my husband, it's very real and nothing is fabricated with that. So it's you always come back to that and you find your reasons why you're doing certain things. Yeah. But I think it's also just to really not compare myself to others, because I could be oh, well, they're doing this and I should be doing that. And it's you just want to stick in your own lane, really, especially in this industry. Everyone's doing such exciting things and there's always going to be things happening and, new big brands to work with. Yeah. And people genuinely just want to work with you if you're being your most authentic self. So I think as long as that can come across, then it's kind of the best thing you can do is stick in your own lane. Yeah. But
and then you come here for your facials for
your and fall asleep.
That's the best compliment ever that anyone can give us.
It's so good. But no, I think also with finding time for myself, I struggle with that a lot. I like to be busy and I like to always have, things on the go and keeping myself busy. I think actually when I saw my naturopath for the first time, she was like, you need to slow down. You are just going go. It's going to burn out. And having things like getting a facial, or, doing Pilates or going for a walk with my dog, just things that you do like, even if it's daily or weekly, like something for you.
Yeah.
And something to kind of just like block out everything else, put your phone down. It's like you just forget about that for a second, and it becomes like just such a big part of my routine. And I love that. I love having those, you know, times where it's like just, a lot more simple, brings you back down to earth a bit.
Making the time
like
for it
that.
and making it a routine.
Yes, it is. Making it a priority. Yeah, for sure.
Well, talking about exciting times, you just finally announced your very sweet little secret.
Yes, I'm pregnant.
And I actually got to admit here that one of my favorite parts about my job is that our clients obviously let us know very early on when they're expecting or trying. So we've known for a little while.
Yes.
And we're so excited for you.
Thank you.
Which now throws you into a whole different phase of life. Totally different direction.
Yeah.
I guess in your career that also opens different doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a whole range, a whole huge market for pregnancy, motherhood, babies, all that sort of stuff. But on a personal note, what has it been so far? How have you been feeling?
Yeah, I've been it is such like a crazy journey already. So I'm currently 13 and a half weeks pregnant. But I've been loving it. I've always been so maternal, so interested in midwifery and birth. Like I've been listening to birth vlogs for like 3 years. Tana's like, why? My friends are like, that's so weird. But I have that interest in it already. Yeah, I know every option. But no, I think like really immersing yourself in it just feels so right. And we were very lucky to fall pregnant very easily, which is, I know, not something that a lot of people can relate to. But our journey's been really good so far. So very exciting. Apart from some hormonal breakouts, it's been a lot of fun, but that's all part of it.
After this, we'll look after you.
Yes,
because that's like it's beautiful for us. Like a lot of the times, like we've had numerous clients that come in and they tell us, "Oh my God, I'm going on my first date," and then they're getting engaged and they're pregnant. And
you see it all.
They come in, and every time they come in for their monthly facial, their belly is getting bigger and bigger. And then one day they're coming in with their baby.
So sweet.
I love that part. So absolutely beautiful. And I can't wait to meet your baby.
Thank you.
But to wrap things up, so there was so many very interesting things in this. But as a influencer, as someone who a lot of especially girls will look up to, and a role model, I guess, for many, what's a piece of advice you would give someone to feel a little bit more confident in themselves in this crazy world that we're living in these days?
Yeah. I think personally for myself, it is so hard to like not compare yourself on social media or like in life in general. Like, but even like on social media, to be like following people that you really align with and like you feel good at watching their content, not like comparing yourself to their content already. Like having that safety net of social media is like a positive and not a negative place to be.
So unfollow everyone that makes you feel bad?
Yeah, or like, just put them on mute if they're not giving you what you need that day, or if they're sharing content that doesn't align with you, or, if you feel like you're really comparing yourself, or I don't know. Does
that mean I have to unfollow everyone that's currently in Europe?
I know. Mute. But I think it's just like I follow even a few pages and they post like these awesome quotes, and like some days I just needed to see that quote there and then, and it's like, yes, okay, I've got it.
Yeah.
Or today if I'm like having a bad day, it's okay to have that bad day. The next day you get up and it's a new day.
Yeah.
Like you're not always going to feel 100% every day, and it's learning to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And you just got to be easy on yourself because it can be full on out there. But I would just say stick in your own lane as well. Yeah.
That's
Find
beautiful.
things that like make you feel really good. Find things that you're good at and that like you're really passionate about, and like everything else literally will fall into place around you. So yeah.
Well, I love that. Thank you so much for popping in.
you.
Well, you're going to come in anyway for your facial,
Yes.
so I just sat you down for this little chat. So thank you so much for that.
Good. Anytime.
And yeah, we'll see you all next time.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends and get involved in our socials to help shape the topics on this podcast. We'd love to meet you. You can simply book from our webpage or reach out. We are here to help.